Hello. Uh, Welcome back for another madcap session of D&D, Edge of Eternity. I'm your DM, as always, Ash. Got all of the usual suspects here. We've just got Colin out driving coffin now. But President accounted for. Is there anyone want to put their hand up to do the best with a recap before our copious note taker there, Varys, finishes it off and fills in whatever you missed?
I could do a little bit, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, even if you just focus on the bits that were focused on you.
Well, yeah. Particularly the bit where I stomped out of the camp. Got met by a very nice dwarf.
Let's be honest. Tiny little cat chased you out of the camp in an argument.
Yeah, well, rather than splatter into the floor, I decided to wander off. I wandered off and eventually met up with a dwarf who said, come with me, I'll show you the place where we're all going to meet, which is definitely worrying him because how the hell did they know that was the place that they were meeting?
I was wondering if anyone had clicked onto that.
Oh, yeah. I need to have a word with my cousin.
On what I missed?
Don't worry about it.
No, I wasn't listening. Sorry.
Oh.
I got distracted.
Well, I clicked onto the fact, Golders clicked onto the fact that somebody else knew about where the secret meeting place was, and it was the older dwarf that he met. Anyway, they got to the tent that has been set aside. And then all of a sudden, this elder dwarf turned into an exact copy of him. And despite being quite badly injured by himself, Golder fought through and splattered it cut him in two, actually. And also figured out that he got a healing potion and poured it over the thing, and it preserved it.
Creative gameplay.
For which Gertie was very grateful when she came and had a look. Told her they carted the body away, and Golder was left sort of on his way to a drinking competition, feeling slightly worse for wear and wondering how the hell his doppelganger knew about the meeting place. That's supposed to be a secret location for secret people. So he needs to go and honour being champion of the drinking competition. B, try and get everybody together so that we can enter the Grand Melee, which everybody seems to have forgotten about, and go and find his cousin, and go. We're compromised. So,
is there anything you want to fill in on based on your characters that you remember?
My character, she's mostly been kind of kept to the camp, keeping an eye on her dancers. This is a very important performance for them, and I think people are slowly starting to twig onto kind of it is like kind of the make or break of her career kind of thing, as well as all these other guys as well. Because if they fuck this up, they will never be able to show their faces in the dance community again, and it's just like major stuff. And then a certain dwarf let his rage and obsession blind him and put said little kind of underage dancers in danger, so she asked him politely to leave.
One way of putting it.
Would you like to cover the bit with Rin and whatnot later on?
I can do. Well, I mean, two characters on the go. But yeah, so Jadis has mostly spent her time in camp, and she's been talking to Tamond as well, who just seems completely overwhelmed by everything. And being the camp mum that she is making sure that he feels better about the whole situation, has a chance to de-stress. platonically.
Mm-hmm.
I will stress this, platonically.
Yeah, it was
Although
a
the
simple.
impressions
No,
others may take away from it in
it's
their ignorant state.
Yes, I mean,
simple.
it's not...
Simple. Go on.
It's not a secret in the dancing community that she is actually kind of taken a vow of chastity. So she's like kind of virginal pure and will remain so for the rest of her days.
Mhm.
But
Oh, that's amazing.
She gives a very good massage, and she also has had a very good massage as well.
It's just when Daisy made the mistake of ducking her head in and sort of
Yep.
got a slightly mistaken impression before she realised that no, this is Jadis.
Yes, but she's a cat. She's fluffy and she purrs. It's the best night's sleep you will ever have, and I lean heavily into that. It must be said. So yeah, she's being camp mum at the moment, making sure that everyone's all right, and she is really worried about Golda because she hasn't known him for very long, but kind of this is odd behavior for him, to her at least. So she is worried and sent Colin to go and check on him. I think she did.
Correctamundo.
And Colin, along the way, met with Rin, my other character, who is a princess and a chosen one of the line of Basset. And she is a necromancer.
Really creepy
And
to speak to as well.
And she is creepy as fuck. But she is easily the youngest person in the player's side of the campaign. And that she is 17, did I put her as?
Something like that, 16, 17, something like
Yeah, 17.
Mm.
So she is baby.
that. Mm-hmm.
And it was just the sort of like kind of the whole line of what was it that she reacted to? Colin said something that everybody else would take as innuendo, and she just stared at him blankly, asking what that was.
I don't want my pad around.
Yeah.
How can I go to the toilet? Which...
Oh, yeah. That was funny.
Yeah, we really needed that moment to break some of the tension.
That was, can I say that was some brilliant role play between the two of you?
And fuck, I remembered stuff from last week.
Yay!
Hey.
Yeah.
Go, Varney. Go, Varney.
That being what it is, Tanya, what do you remember from your character last week?
I remember she and Varys headed out from camp to find a forge where she could finish up some tinkering and trying to get Varys's pierced armor fixed, which she realized later on she could have just mended. Where they were followed by a very, very sneaky...
No, he wasn't very sneaky at all.
A very sneaky cleric who she charged her steel defender towards him before he could actually do anything, which he wasn't actually trying to do. He was just trying to follow them, apparently. Got discovered, had a little chat with Varys and Tanya, and think that it had something to do with rifts, and a bear was mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Tanya and Varys proceeded to tell this person they met that he could meet up with them in camp at some point and have a discussion with the rest of the group.
And they didn't need to give him directions; he already knew where it was.
Yes.
No,
He had some comments about he had some comment about. I think I remember he had a comment about a certain kitty.
Yeah. So, let's not get into too much of minutiae. But yeah, I think that covers pretty much everything. Colwyn met up with Jack and Kitty to organise a dog race. I think that was this session. And basically, from what I remember, I think people were starting to head back to camp for the most part from last session. Sorry, I left it a bit late to review.
I was going to the pub.
Do we go into the pub?
Yeah, that was correct. I was going to the pub to see if I could find our erstwhile wandering dwarf.
So you're going to the pub. Ferris, Tanya, where are you headed? You've
Did
just
we
done
get
your
to the
repairs
forge?
and whatnot. Yeah, you did your repair. You did your thing, right?
Yeah,
You got
and then
you got the pistol.
you got
me.
yeeted out of the damn forge.
You got tossed across the road and got stopped by a tailor's boot.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you
Yes, you
Yes,
did.
you did.
You got tossed across the thing, and your face got stopped by a tailor's shoe because you were about to slide it all muddy into his shop, and he's just like, nope.
Well, all she needs now is to finish up her contraption with the
enchanting side of it. Yeah.
enchanting side of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's where we'll pick up.
Can I fill in one or two things?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. First, the night before, Varys and Golda went to the pub.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't realize why, but then they were, someone's to the shattered hand. Boom, boom, and they got attacked. Golda saw it as an attack from what's his name?
Oleg.
Oleg, and Varys thinks it's the shattered hand, just not liking them on the meeting. From
what you remember of the meeting, technically you're probably both right. Because he was meant to be meeting with the Shadow Hand.
Yeah.
Someone was supposed to be meeting with the Shadow Hand. We didn't know who.
Yeah, now we know.
Oh, you assume you know.
All right, yeah. Yeah, Golda then got kicked out the next morning for talking out loud about it.
Mm-hmm.
In the incident with Malcolm, the incident with the Forge Master,
I'm back. Sorry. My shipment arrived.
The Colin ran into Rin. Tamond revealed that he ended up fighting his doppelganger as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which was interesting. But I don't think the group knows that. I think it's just Jadis for now who knows that.
Mm. He also revealed a way to identify.
Oh yes, we think there's going to be blood tests near Franklin Camp and such. At least.
Won't be a problem at the minute for Golda.
He's pretty messed up.
Yep.
Or was it 12 hit points? Anyway, go on, Tris.
Yep. That's about it.
Push to talk, man. Push to talk.
Yeah, I am pushing to talk. Apart from that, the creepy conversation with Rin where Rin says, "Your father is watching you go to the toilet."
Yeah, they covered.
But yes. That's about it, I think.
Am I right in my recollection that you guys hadn't actually moved off where you finished there, from the forge and whatnot? You'd started basically.
I was already going towards the pub.
You were started moving on from where your situations were, but you hadn't arrived anywhere.
Correct.
I believe Tanya had stormed off before the other guys, tossing mud off herself, walking towards the camp. I think she was like right around the corner from camp, or just had entered the camp before we ended last.
We'll have you on your way back. Varys, where were you headed?
Varys was invited to the pub with Colwyn, I believe. But Varys is kind of a little bit afraid of that pub right now. given what happened the night before. So he said, "I'm going back to camp," and set off on his own.
Okay, perfect. Multiple people off by themselves. Just what I like to hear.
With the party, TPK.
Hey, the reason Gulda got attacked is because he went off by himself. As soon as Phil said that he stormed off by himself, I was like,
Didn't work though.
No, it wasn't meant to work.
No evil Golder, as much as that you wanted him to be.
It would have been brilliant. But moving on. Okay, so we're going to start with Nord, not Tenya, but Nord and Malcolm arriving at the camp. Because he left before you guys did. You went to the forge, he went towards the camp.
Can I just point out that we agreed to meet later after Varys had cleared him with the guards with his ID and whatnot. So he probably is not heading there yet, unless we want to skip ahead to it.
Well, I don't recall that there on the session.
I remember Varys saying, "I will clear you so people know you're coming, so you can chat with us about this."
I think the GM then said, "Well, that nothing was going to stop him from getting through. That he wouldn't need official authorization."
Yep.
Yeah, I'd say that he would have gone it anyway. Let's put it this way, Tenya, Nord, sorry. Malcolm's your character. In this situation, what would he do?
He would approach the camp carefully. He does not trust this group yet, because reasons. A little. Yes, these guys are strangers.
No. It's also you're a stranger to this group as well, and Jadis is paranoid. She would not let you in this camp.
Mm-hmm. A slight perception check. Who do I see about camp as I'm approaching it carefully?
You see the guards that has been put in place by Temund. Actually, I think I think you were in the middle of sorting lunch here, Jadis.
Mm-hmm.
For the dancers. And I also think that Temund came back to check on you at lunch.
Yes.
So Malcolm would literally see Temund, who he would recognize.
He would know Temund, wouldn't he?
He would know Temund, literally.
Yes. Has Temund noticed Malcolm yet?
Probably not, man.
Okay.
Deep in conversation with Cat Girl Camp Mum.
All right. I will scour. I will not head towards like the main entrance to the camp. I will scour around, see if I can find a more inconspicuous entrance.
If I remember rightly, Ash, you said that one of the things that you did was increase the lighting so that there is.
It's the middle of the day as well.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
If you're trying to sneak around, I want to see a stealth roll with disadvantage from him.
Well, I'm still outside the camp, so like this is a big city. There's people walking all over. I'm just casually taking a look around, see if I can spot. Yeah, see if I can spot a more conspicuous entrance to the camp where I can get in without going through the main.
Easy enough. It's not hard to see that Knights of Souls that are there guarding the camp. You've got two patrolling around, and another 6 off to the side. Several of them asleep or resting.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a lot of dancers and whatnot. You are going to be spotted coming towards the camp without some sort of invisibility.
Very well. I am going to. I am going to. There's like a main entrance and then smaller side entrances, or is there just like one?
There's no actual entrance, man. It's a campsite.
Okay, it's a campsite. It's all open. It's yeah.
Mm.
I'm going to approach a bit from the side, where there's like fewer.
So you duck in off the actual main avenue there, in between the tents of one of the adjacent sites.
Yes, and I will be walking up towards. If I see one point around the camp, if there's like just one guard standing solemnly.
Well, there's two guards on duty. You could one towards the back, opposite side of the camp. Basically, it is the A block, so there is nothing back to the back of it except open sort of landscape.
Yep.
And there is a guard on that side, guarding it from that side. There's one on the other side, keeping an eye on the
I thought we were up against the wall.
main peripheral. One side of it is, but there's 3 other sides.
Got you.
And not the wall, you're up against the stage.
Got you.
Yeah. I will approach guards from the one open side, which is not towards the open landscape, not towards the wall.
So you come in from the main bloody thoroughfare.
No, not the one that goes aims towards like the main thoroughfare, but like the last one to the side where it's like less populated. Yeah.
Okay, so you've got one that's to the open landscape, one to the thoroughfare, adjacent block for tents and whatnot with a little bit of space between it, and then you've got the stage on the other side. Are you coming, from what you've said, you're coming at them from that adjacent block of tents where there is no guard?
There is no guard?
Mm-hmm. As soon as you start approaching, you have been seen by the guards sitting at the camp. And several of them rise to grabbing their weapons, moving towards you, eyeing you warily. Here now, what are you doing?
He holds up his identification, which in his mind should be pretty similar to Tammons.
As soon as you hear this, Jadis, you look up to see this individual, heavy armor with this trench coat look, sort of style, tricorn hat.
I stand up and I'm kind of like ears fixed, watching.
Temmin follows your gaze and frowns and mutters, "I know him," and starts moving forward.
I'll follow.
Malcolm, you get to the guards, who have their swords drawn at this point. Stop right there.
He walks up to them nonchalantly, holding up his identification. Like, relax there, boys. I have business.
Takes it, and they look at it. They almost jump with surprise when Temmin reaches past and takes the ID, glances at it, and tosses it back to you. I want you to roll me a straight dexterity, man.
12.
You don't even have time to react as his hand grabs you by the wrist as you're distracted and drags a blade across your palm.
Like, Tammon, what the fuck are you doing?
Blade at your throat. You're lucky you're bleeding.
He is not one of them?
He is not one of them.
I will go and get him
What the
lunch.
hell are you on
And
about,
I will
Talon?
go and
Come
I will
into
go
the
and get
camp
him a
and we
bowl
will
of
talk,
soup
Malcolm.
or stew. Was it soup or stew that we had?
I think it was stew. I want to
I
say.
think it was stew.
I will get him a bowl of stew.
You would get
Horse
who?
stew.
Horse stew?
Malcolm.
You.
Oh,
At this point, Tanya is making her way back into camp. In the distance, she sees you. Sees the whole thing there.
she is walking straight towards the camp. She's very muddy.
Mm-hmm.
Mud trickles off of her. She's muttering and cursing loudly in Dwarvish. As she approaches the camp. Is she being stopped?
She is. I believe Vinny organised to do blood checks on everyone.
Yep.
Sorry. So you are forced at this point to present your hand, and a slight nick is put on your finger to draw a single drop of blood.
What is going on?
Security precautions, the guard says.
Security. I've been living here a while now. I think you'd
Talk to the
recognize me
boss,
by now.
he says, and points to Tamman.
And she mutters more Dwarvish cussing. Looks in. She spots the group sitting there eating. Is anyone reacting to her?
Nope.
I'm not present.
I am sorting out stew. You have passed the test to get into the camp. That's good.
I think at this point she's not interested in a lot of communication or interactions. She's angry. I think she'll just
brought
like
it on herself.
Yeah, I know, but she in her mind that's a different story. She'll just bypass everyone and just walk straight into the tent she's been occupying and just like sit down close to the entrance to the tent and just be like, "Don't bother me. Let me tinker in peace." She's fuming.
As you walk past towards your tent, you get a bowl of stew just kind of pressed into your.
She looks at Jadis, like nods slightly, like thanks. It's almost like you would
As
be
you
able
start to wander off, Malcolm is going to call out to you. And, excuse me.
Yes.
I need that conversation with you all.
Well, the rest of the group hasn't arrived yet. But yeah, I have some stuff to discuss with you all. Just a quick thing though, Asher. Tamman is present.
Oh, yes, he is.
Yeah, Malcolm does not need Tamman to be present for that discussion. Yeah.
Rock, hard place, your problem.
Yes. God damn it. Well, can it wait? I kind of want to get myself cleaned off a bit. You don't
Nobody
mind?
is having conversations on empty stomach. It doesn't do anybody any good. Food first,
Thank you.
then conversations.
Tamman,
Lunch is important.
Tamman looks at you. He goes, "I can't stay for long." Malcolm, Dust Treader, good man, works for the same organisation I do in the same sort of capacity.
If you vouch
yes.
for him, then he is welcome. Do not
Well,
upset any of my dancers. She points at
If you don't
Malcolm.
mind, Tammin, I have, as you know, I've been just arrived here a couple of days myself, and I've been, I came from Honeyheath not long ago, and I have something to discuss with this group.
That's quite all right. I need to talk to you later. I could use some assistance with an investigation I'm conducting here. There is a lot of things going on.
Jade is
I'll
going
be
to turn to Tammin at that point. Will I expect you tonight? You are still very stressed.
Looks at you. Work pending.
My door is open.
Smiles slightly. Hence, cleans up his bowl, puts it down. Eyes tired. We'll see you all tonight. Hopefully. And off he goes.
More stew is passed round.
We will put a pin in that there, and we will head towards a pub with a dwarf and a halfling converging on it.
Yes.
And an elf.
You would have been the closer there, Colwyn, so it'll say that you'll probably arrive first.
Colwyn's with Varys, isn't he?
No.
Varys
Nope.
is on his way back because Varys is afraid of going to the pub.
Right, got you.
Varys says bad things happen when he touches alcohol, apparently.
Yeah, he has bad things happen to him, period.
If I can just point out that it's interesting because Varys has only lost health once in this campaign so far.
I'm not talking about physical damage, dude.
All right, yep, never mind.
Right, carry on then.
Anyway, Colwyn, making away from
Yes.
the blacksmith and the meeting with the strange little house cat person from the Mall. You arrive at the pub. You see some, even though the bolts have been moved, there is some damage to the bar, the furniture there. And you recall that Golda said that he and Varys were attacked there last night.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking that mentally I hadn't quite caught up there yet. Kind of moves around the mess, goes up, orders a couple of pints of the good stuff, and finds a table. How much silver or what have you am I taking out of my inventory?
Give me two. I'll put it as 1 silver, man. And that'd cover a meal if you wanted as well.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
You sit in, have a quiet drink while you're waiting. Golda, it comes down the path, the avenue down this thoroughfare in the distance. His step seems a bit lighter, that he's found some stress relief.
Oh, yeah. And I go straight up to the drinking competition.
What drink competition's not going on?
Well, wasn't everything happening before midday and the drinking competitions at midday?
You come up to the bartender and he looks at you. Sorry, champ, I've had to call it. He looks at you and goes, you know why. What happened last night. Half of my customers must have been scared off.
Oh, no. Well, whoever did that bad beer, you let me know, and you and me can go and have a quiet little word with them. I don't like people who poison beer.
no actual indication it was poisoned. We had it checked. It was just a really bad batch. Some kind of
Right.
contaminant in it.
I see.
Gives you eyeballs you a bit weird.
Golda has his ideas.
Yeah, for the people you can tell, no, that's not actually the case at all. Oh, I see what you're getting at there. No, you really don't. Etc. Oi,
Right.
Golda! Got you one
Ah.
in.
Ooh, Colwyn. Magic words. I go over and sit down and drain it in one. Oh,
Right,
that
you're around
better.
then.
Oh, by the way, yes, I'll get one in. Barkeep, can we have another couple of ales, please?
Coming right up, sir.
Thank you very kindly.
And it's at this point that
Indirectly
you
paying
notice
back.
that he is actually wearing leather armor at this point.
Ah,
Smart.
sensible precaution.
And puts it down, but he keeps a bit of a distance from you. He's really wary of you.
Right. Golda doesn't care.
Wobble.
Right. You might be wondering why I'm a bit battered.
Any number of
Well-
explanations come to mind.
Well, it is me. But I've just had a bit of a run-in with a doppelganger. Mine. I managed to split him in two, of course, but give me a run for my money.
Uh-huh.
Looking at Golda, you see he is battered.
Hmm.
He is looking well the worse for wear.
I must remember to have a bit of a word with Varys when I get back. I could do with a bit of healing.
I was gonna say, you do look as though you've had a bit of a rough haircut.
A bit? Aye, you could say that.
Well, I mean, understatement, obviously. I've had a bit of a rough time myself, although more on the mental angle than the physical.
Fair enough.
But
Too busy putting up with Tanya again.
that girl will be the death of her.
Aye, that's a good one.
That aside,
Aye.
in terms of your headspace, are you on
I'm
less of a
feeling-
hair trigger?
Aye, I certainly am. I've smashed something into the floor. Oh, by the way, I figured out, and he lowers his voice and leans in, I figured out a way how to preserve those bodies. Now, I poured a healing
Hang
potion
on. I think you're jumping ahead a bit. I don't. Look, I've been around. I've heard stories, but are you telling me, if I've got this correct, that when you kill these doppelgangers, that they turn into some kind of horrific soup that even a necromancer would turn his nose up at?
Pretty much. They don't bleed. It's kind of this black goo inside them, you see. Thing is that the body doesn't, it decays slowly. Now you can preserve the body with a healing potion if you just pour it on them. This allows, and I've sent mine to Gertie, who came and had a look and went, ooh, fresh body, and looked very interested at it. And she's investigating it because she thinks it's an arcane construct. But she's going to do a load of tests. But because we managed to preserve the body, she's got probably several hours that she can do tests on it. So hopefully we'll have a better idea of what we're up against. But these things are bloody dangerous. I suspect that they're literally made to mirror us, to mimic us, and then take our place. To what end, I don't know. I mean, I'm just a dwarf that hits things, so I don't know why they'd want to copy me. But
Because of who you have access to.
you what? Sorry,
Maybe.
Ash?
Probably because of who you have access to.
Well, yeah, but Gold doesn't think like that. He's just a dwarf who hits things. So, but anyway, so you need to be bloody careful for one of these things. If you've not had one of them attack you, chances are there'll be one out there looking for you, and it could be anybody. Mine turned up as an old dwarf of the Darkfist clan, and then suddenly changed in front of my eyes, so it could literally be anybody. But they bleed black. They do not bleed like us. So it's a way of checking. If you prick the
I
finger,
just gotta hope I haven't pissed off my deity. I don't need the shadows to not be friends.
good point. But I don't know who this person is, but they've got me worried because they knew the location of the meeting place for the Shadow Council. I didn't tell them.
Uh-huh.
Roll an
So,
intelligence check for me there, Golda. Just as a
anything in particular?
just intelligence there.
Just straight in. Right. 13.
It's for recollection. He never actually mentioned the Shadow Council at the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he knew about it is a different thing. Knowing about the
Good
camp and what it was for, two different things.
Yeah, exactly.
Very quickly, out of
Aye.
character. Yes, if I'm recalling correctly, my character was the one who helped to organise that.
Yes, he was. Yeah. Or parts of the discussion anyway was certainly held with All Trade and the rest of it. So yes, you did help. Thing is that he knew the location. I don't know if he knew what it was for, but that's where we were going to have the Shadow Council. Now, thing is that people know about it, and not so many should. So it's a bit worrying. I'm going to have a word with my cousin about it.
So, hang on. If I've not missed anything, the beings or whatever that are tracking us, could they not potentially be from this cabal or group of assassins who are known for, spooky magics and working in the darkness? Wouldn't it make sense that the individual... Were you there when we met, when I was cashing in those scorpion tails?
Well, yeah.
Uh-huh. We might need to go and see them and make sure that they're not the leak.
Well, there is a leak somewhere, I think, but problem is that we don't know who the rogue elements are in a lot of cases. So keeping a lid on this thing was always going to be tricky. But we need to maybe warn everybody that there's foul play abroad and check them all. All we have to do is prick a finger. If they bleed the right colour, they're fine.
Well, that would certainly make
That's
things...
the thing. I mean, you can kind of see what colour I bleed at the moment. It's not difficult to see.
Nope.
But if they bleed black,
shakes
then
his head and
attack.
starts the second pint. Yeah, bleeding black. Yeah. God almighty. Well, he kind of pauses and speaks as if to one side. If nothing else, I'm glad you're entertained.
Aye. I mean, it's not as good as a
Just,
drinking
I wasn't
competition, but it
talking
was a
to
lot of
you.
fun.
So, I'll interject. Colwyn, as you're walking down the avenue, you see Golda at the table drinking with yourself.
Freeze. Golda,
Fucking yes.
don't move.
So,
Golda's axe comes out in a
What part
defensive
of don't
stance.
move do you not understand?
so Colwyn, the one at the table isn't you. You've only
He's
just
drinking with
arrived.
another halfling, or
He looks exactly like you.
yeah, no shit. He's going to take not his poison dagger, his regular dagger, and just say, finger, winces as he pricks it.
Golda, looking at this halfling that has approached you, is standing there,
Hmm.
speck of bright blood on their finger.
I get up and in one smooth movement bring my axe down on the head of the Colwyn that I'm sitting next to.
D20. Roll an attack, sorry.
That's not going to hit. 14.
Would the three of you
That
you
is
like
my
to-
armor class.
Okay,
Oh.
roll
Oh, it's
damage. What's your HP at? Colin, I'll record it for this. You guys need to do initiative as well after this is passed.
Yeah.
38.
13 damage.
Okay.
He rages, and of course
25.
his Stormora hits.
How many? Yep, do your storm moral damage. How many of the rages have you got left? Make sure you're marking them off.
This is my last one for the day.
Yep.
That's
Okay.
a good thing we're in the evening then.
That's 6, Ash.
Yep,
6
I've got it.
lightning
I've
damage.
recorded it, man. I've got it there in the feed.
Roll for initiative.
Roll for initiative.
Hey, 21.
Roll a second initiative for yourself there, Colin. Actually, I'll open up your thing.
Oh, too late.
You can do it. You can attack yourself.
I got a 10.
Okay, so Colin,
not me, got 7.
The real you got 21. You're going first.
Mhm.
Stabby kill.
Okay, very quickly, dimensions.
You are literally
how-
right on top of each other. Oh, you've had to walk up so you could show Golda the pinprick of blood.
Yeah. Yeah, and with that, I am behind this guy.
Yep.
Sneak attack.
Hang on. Yeah. Draw the dagger of venom, so I've now got a dagger in each hand.
Yep.
Sneak attack from behind.
Okay, roll your attack.
Am I rolling with advantage on that?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes.
I might have distracted him by hitting him with a very large axe.
That and he's
Oh, nice.
that and he's flanking him. More the
Yep.
point.
Yeah. Okay, so damage.
So damage, sneak attack, and anything else you want to pile on there. If you want to activate your dagger.
So I'm going to start with the dagger of venom. That's going to use up the charge.
I think you can use that at will, but if you want to use it now, then so 5 points of damage, noted.
Not counting the sneak attack. Sneak attack
Yep.
comes now.
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
Nice.
He is looking rough.
How do I use the charge on? Or has it done that automatically? Because wait, that's a 2. I need to roll the 2d10 as well.
Yes, you do.
The charge.
Yes, you do.
It didn't come up as an option for that. So do I
No,
just
You
roll
just
that
do a
separately?
2d10. Just roll it separately,
Yeah.
man. I've given you many things to roll. You did it to yourself. It was all rude, but yeah,
Oh my god!
he is dead. It's all. It doesn't matter. It's all what you
Yeah.
needed. That's exactly what he had
Mm.
left. You
Clean up
watch.
on aisle 4.
The bartender has fished a crossbow out from behind the bar and has got it lowered, pointing at you all.
Drop both the daggers into the
Terror
table,
in his face.
arms up, stepping aside to show the glob pizza-ness that was the fake being.
The bartender looks at you both and goes, "Lads, I think this is the last time you come drinking here. If I see you again, I'm gonna buddy fire first and ask questions later."
Calm
Completely
down,
understandable.
bartender. But we understand.
Right.
Get to guards. Someone? Anyone?
I don't think I've actually got a potion of healing in my yeah, I don't.
I've got an extra one, but
I'll
yes,
buy
I'll
you a new
use
one.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll use it, Ash.
Roll a d20.
This part is just going to be real confused. Just made a blob and now pouring
Yeah.
potions on it.
That'll be an 18, Ash.
You watch as it takes effect and the drooping mess that are his holds solidify a little bit. Was a DC 15 there to actually take effect. So the body has been preserved.
Yeah. So I'll go and get the guards. But before that, going to put my daggers back into their sheaths. Don't want to leave them here.
I will interject one thing. I allowed it because it was for good role play. But you that wasn't the one there would not have known about the blood drop proof.
It's interesting. The way I said in my notes is basically that he overheard it. While
Yeah,
speaking up.
might have done.
But yeah.
That
Yes, I'm not sure what the last bit was that you heard, but yeah, Colwyn's gone to raise the alarm and request the presence of Miss Gibblespit.
So guards run off to get her. Not too long later, she comes running into running up the street and sees the body, rubbing her hands eagerly together as she sees it. Hi! Stops, looks at you, Golda, and goes,
I
You
got
seem to be attracting these now, don't you?
Well, one for me, one for Colwyn here, and aye, they do seem to be making a beeline for our party.
gets a foot
I th-
expression on her face.
Anyway, I've put the old healing potion on it again. Seems to be lasting. So here's another one for you to do some experimenting on.
He looks at you, looks at Colwyn, and goes,
What are you up to that they're interested in you lot?
looks at you,
How did
Golda, and
if I
goes,
know?
Maybe they think you'll give them access to your cousin. But that
and she points at you, Colwyn.
doesn't explain you, sir.
Nothing explains Colwyn.
Well, not enough time in the day.
Really
I think
not.
ultimately getting into our particular inner circle could potentially have access to a whole bunch of things that we're not aware of. Lord knows I don't have the intelligence for it.
He stares
Well.
at you.
He waggles his finger saying, oh, blood, I'm real.
Inside of 15.
Okay.
Deception, I believe, is the opposition for that.
It
Depends on if he's trying to hide anything or not.
And
She
it
doesn't
depends
know.
on lying or honesty.
He gets the feeling that you're bullshitting her and that you're holding something back, but she can't prove it. She glares at you. Mutters
Case
something
study
under her
roast
breath, but he
Question.
motions at the guards, waves them forward, and they take the body. They go off, and she's just standing there, staring at you for the longest time, not saying anything. Fresh and hard, and kind of a little angry. Then she
Archmage, don't
leaves.
you
Starts to
have
leave.
some
Looks at her.
experimenting to do?
Whoa, too much talking.
Right.
Turns that glare on you, Golda.
Trying to get rid of me there.
Actually, no. I'm trying to get back to camp so we can warn all the others.
Grunts, stomps off.
Prickly.
As
Your
always.
character, and that's how you played her.
Oh god, yeah, it's wonderful.
So yeah, I grabbed Colwyn and just said, "Right, let's stagger back to camp, shall we?"
Yep. He is about to kind of reach for the pints that have been poured out, and then thinks, better not.
Aye, probably best to leave him for now. Says Golda as he reaches out, downs it in one, and then starts wandering off.
Bartender is not taking his eyes off you.
Looking towards the door carefully.
There's no actual door, man. It's an open pavilion with a awning over it. It's a tent tavern.
Yeah. Okay. Entrance, exit, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
The particulars.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Probably petitioned off, but
Mm.
you exit out onto the thoroughfare and start making your way back to camp. Ferris, which you have just reached, to find Malcolm there, downing a bowl of soup, as if he hasn't eaten properly in a week.
I approach the entry and say, "Hey, Malcolm."
Before you can come in, guards drop beers, block your entry.
Hello?
We're going to require some blood proof that you are who you are.
And I'm going to require at least this once verification from someone in my group that this is a real requirement.
Just do it.
I can see that if I asked you to do this every time, this could get really, really bloody. So I'm just going to do it.
Guard shakes his head, grabs your wrist, and a very slight prick on one of your fingers. Bead of blood. No tricks here, lad. In you go.
As Varus walks up, he says, "Here's an interesting thought. If these guys are, so what? So what do these guys have? What do these guys have in general? Because I can do the illusion of blood coming out of my finger.
You're
Guard
so
over-
lucky that no one else is there right now, because otherwise Cole would be, right, well, we better make sure then, stabs him from somewhere else.
Guards will overhear this and their spears will lower in your direction. Frowning. Waiting to see how Jadis reacts.
Then you can march yourself back out of my camp and you can come up with an idea to prove that you are who you are.
See ya.
Nord.
Sorry, I was
Nord. Does Malcolm have anything like detect good or evil prepared?
Let me check quickly. I have. Let me quickly check my features and traits because I might have something there.
Actually,
No, I do not believe I have
Okay.
that
Jadis.
prepared.
actually, my character cast Identify on one of these things, didn't she?
Yes. And it had that arcane trace.
Alright. Well, let's... She's gonna march up to Varus, since he seems to be dithering, and she's gonna...
Barrett has no idea on how to get
Grab-
through this, but all right.
is gonna grab him by the hand and cast Identify.
There's nothing. You get traces from any of his gear there that might be magical. But outside that, he himself has none of that arcane trace that these creatures did.
You're fine. Here, have soup. And she thrusts a bowl of soup into your hands. Where she got it from, you don't know, but it's there. Or stew. Stew, rather.
Stew, soup, it's it's all the same thing, just one's thicker than the other.
Identify does not work on living blood.
I was going to say
Possibly.
you can check the diary. You can check my diary in my chest in my tent. But all right.
I do not know if that would work or not. I am not kind of clued up on that. But I have cast Identify on one of these creatures before. You do not feel like this.
Once again, thank you. And he sits down by the fire.
She walks up behind him and does smack him on the back of the head, though. But next time, do not question security matters. You should be aware of this. You are not stupid.
I'm not
Malcolm
stupid.
chuckles.
I'm not stupid, but I'm also intelligent. Just pointed out some potential flaws. Nothing personal.
I was not referring to that. I was referring to arguing with guards.
Yeah, it seemed to see that it seems to have been settled and returned to keeping an eye on the area. You also notice that they have doubled their manpower on the points after Malcolm just basically wandered up.
It's good to see it's good to see you, our venerable bounty hunter.
Is it?
You're in your tank tinkering.
Oh, that was Malcolm.
All right.
Confusing.
God damn it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Small
Jadis
but
is,
subtle difference in performance there.
Jadis is going to quickly go to the guards and kind of let them know about the whole identify thing they may need to get somebody with.
Mm-hmm. Not a problem. Oh, we'll look at see what we can organise there, ma'am.
Be there, yeah.
This has all happened while you're bloody killing Coleman.
I see.
You're still in the process of trying to kill your friend.
Mm-hmm.
This
With my
point.
friend.
With your friend. Which ironically took like 6 seconds to do him in.
Yeah.
So, Malcolm, is it? How are we waiting on? Are we waiting on anyone else? Because we do need to have a discussion.
I believe there are 2 more members of your group that are unaccounted for. Or am I wrong?
Varys looks around and says, 3? Oh, or does he hear the tinkering? Or
Ding,
I
ding, ding.
believe
Swearing in
the
Dwarven.
third one. Yeah, that.
Actually, no,
What is
it'd
he
be
saying, by the way?
magical. To be
Yeah.
doing engraving and whatnot for the enchantment.
Yeah. There's not much ting 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 going on now.
it's
No.
Still swearing in Dwarven.
More scribing and yeah.
Yeah, it's resolved anyway. The number of people we're waiting on.
Yeah.
Well, I won't go into details on anything until we get the 2 others remaining.
So, if you guys want to do any RP, I'll let you do it. Now's the time. If not, I'll advance it to the Colin and Zelda returning.
I'm going to need to call a brief pause here because I need to use the facilities, and given my current life situation, that might
Yep.
take a little while.
That's quite all right. So we will take a 15 minutes. Good for you, Ed?
Yeah.
So we'll come back on the hour, guys.
A planned break. Yay.
As opposed to the unplanned break we had before.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, completely separate.
Righto, so we will put a pin in that and we'll come back to it. Welcome back, welcome back. Now, I will return to my question. Is there any RP that folks want to do before we time skip to Halfling and Dwarf returning to the camp?
Silence deafening.
Nope.
Okay. I'll take your silence as a we'll time skip forward. Colwyn, Golder, you arrive at the edge of camp, stopped by the guards. Sorry, sir, we've got to take a security precaution. If we
I'll
test the
hold out my
blood,
finger.
Yep.
okay. You're aware of it then?
Well, I'm not exactly in the best of shape, so unless I'm bleeding something unfashionable,
By this
go
point,
ahead,
you've
lad,
got to
get some
stop.
fresh.
Pricks your finger with a dagger. Does the same to Colwyn. Bead of blood. Thank you for that, sir.
No problem.
As you were.
Go inside.
Yeah.
Varys obviously hears this and looks over. And do you want me to do a check to see if I notice how beat up Golder
You
is?
can't miss
You
it.
can't
mate.
miss it. He's wrecked.
What the hell happened to you? Magic light incoming!
Okay. Are you doing a heal,
Mhm.
Paris?
Yes.
Malcolm raises his hand towards Golder and casts a healing word.
You get 8 points damage on top of whatever that healing word is.
8 points of damage. Shit.
8 points of healing.
And 11 points from Malcolm.
So that's 19 health. Back to you, Golder.
Yeah, well, I'm back up to 31 out of 55. That'll do. Thank you. Thank you very kindly, guys.
I can do more if you're still hurt.
A little bit. How much healing have you got left for the day?
Well, I can do another 3d6, but that's all. Another 3d6 for my healing light.
I don't want you to run out.
How many spells have I got?
Hello?
Sorry, and I can do 2 cure wounds as well. So
One of those wouldn't go amiss.
all right, cure wounds 3d8 plus 3 coming up.
Nice.
8, another 18.
That will do nicely. Thank you, Master Varys. That's much better.
Keep in mind.
I'm only
Keep in mind
hits
one
now.
cleric. Keep in mind one cleric healed you, a person you have never met before.
At this point, Varys also goes up and says, "You look horrible," and also takes some of the blood out of his clothing.
Oh, well, that's definitely a lot better. Right. So
You may need someone to mend some of that stuff, but yeah, I can recommend a tailor. Worst case scenario.
I'll be fine. Right. So doppelgangers. Can we all put our heads together and keep our voices down this time?
Is anyone going to go fetch Tenya?
I'll go.
Righto.
So Jadis gets up and approaches Tanya's tent.
Some
Young one, are
slight
you still
dressing.
there?
Yeah, what do you need?
I believe we are all gathering.
Do I have? Fine. She gathers up her stuff and walks out of the tent. She's mostly gotten herself cleaned up. Well, I mean, her robes and clothing are still stained with dried up, at this point, slightly dried up mud. Her hair is still streaked with a little bit of mud, though she's tried to brush it out, most of it. But yeah, she looks dirty. I'm gonna need a bath after all this.
Why did you not take one beforehand?
How much time has passed?
I'd say at least half an hour.
All right. Well, I thought about it, and then I got started working on my thing and lost track of time.
You got distracted again, didn't you, not Lassie?
You shut up.
Called a laughs. Right, so heads together, folks, because I don't want this one getting out. Right, so after I wandered off, and not a very good mood,
Ac-
sorry about that.
Actually, before we start, may I make a suggestion? I have silencing runes in my tent.
Aye,
Why
that's a
don't we
good
gather
idea.
there?
Good plan. Oh,
Alright.
and who might you be, Mister? I like the coat, by the way. And
Thank
he's
you.
talking to Malcolm. Could you introduce yourself?
Yes, well, I have some issues to discuss with you as a group.
Okay.
My name's Malcolm.
Hello, Malcolm.
Malcolm,
My
yes.
name's Galder.
I know.
Good. Right, introduction's over. Shall we go to the tent?
Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go to the
The-
tent.
They all go to the tent. Then he pauses on the way in, reaches down, brushes something on the tent, closes the doors.
Go on.
As we're inside the tent, is you said Jadis is putting up like some silence thingy?
No, the tent itself has wards against scrying inscribed in it.
Very well. As we're inside and sitting down, Malcolm is quickly casting see invisibility.
Okay.
Just peering around just to make sure they're
There's no one or anything.
alone.
Nothing in the tent that is hidden.
Very well. It lasts for. Give me a moment. It lasts for an hour.
Nice.
As far as this goes, Varys gets curious and sees if he can communicate with Millie whilst he's in there. I'm just wondering what would happen.
No issues.
Yeah.
Well, I can still talk to Millie, so hopefully this does work. Sorry to, yeah.
It's a different kind of magic, and you've got a special bond, so I'm guessing that's why it's still working. Right. Anyway, Master Malcolm, fella. Right, before we get started, doppelgangers and the problems. I know that a couple of us have been attacked. I understood. Actually, have I heard about Tamind being?
Nope.
Right. Right. So, after I wandered off, I got met by a dwarf who took me to a certain location, at the camp we have on the edge of town. Turned into me and tried to kill me. That's why I was a bit rough when you saw me. I sliced him in two. Obviously, I've been checked on the way in with the blood thingy, so it's definitely me. I then went to the pub. The barman didn't seem very happy to see me. No drinking competition, which I'm a bit disappointed about. But I met Colwyn there, or I thought he was Colwyn, only he wasn't. He was Colwyn's double. Colwyn suddenly turned up, showed me who he was with a drop of blood on his finger, and we smashed Colwyn's double into the floor in short order. And I managed to preserve the body again with a. They can be preserved with a healing potion, by the way, or I'm guessing any kind of healing. Something to be noted, Master Varys.
Well,
And
We'll have to try, but hopefully we never
If a
get.
healing potion works, it's just a healing spell contained in a potion. That's from what I understand. So, well, that's how it was described to me, anyway. And yeah, so that seems to preserve the body. You got to make sure they're dead first, obviously. And that seems to preserve them for a few hours. Gertie was called, and she's now got 2 bodies she's working on, because she was called to both incidents, and she's going to look into it and hopefully tell us more about what we're up against. But just beware, these things are as strong as we are, but I don't think they've got the same sort of magical ability as us somehow. Bit hard to describe, but they don't seem to hit it quite as hard.
When you say he changed into you,
Mm-hmm.
Like-
Literally, as I looked at them, they morphed from an old dwarf into me.
like over like 1 or 2 seconds, or instantly, or
It was
Craig.
very within space of a round.
Yeah,
It was a flow from one thing to the next, almost like they turned into liquid.
aye, they flowed. It was very strange seeing it happen and then having to fight myself. But, you know, it allowed me to blow off some steam. So I'm feeling better than I did. And then the extra bit of blowing off steam, helping out Colwyn, not that he really needed the help. I just happened to be there. You know, that's helped get my balance back a little, but I still see the hand of Oleg in it all. Crafty, devious little bugger he is. Anyway, Malcolm, you wanted to tell us about something.
Yeah. This all sounds very strange and weird, and frankly, not my problem. You guys have bigger issues.
Well, you say that, but go on.
Mate, we've got more issues than the back catalogue of the local news rack.
Yeah. You guys got it fucked up, haven't you?
Really? Which time?
guys, I think we need to let Malcolm completely tell his story first, and then maybe we can ask questions later. I've heard most of what it is, but we need to hear the full story first.
Aye, good plan. No, I was just wondering which time.
Which
Can we get
time was
this?
the beginning? I've been trying to track you guys down since a little while after you guys left Honeyheath. Have you guys noticed a slight change of weather patterns? Slightly warmer, maybe?
Storms, weird shit happening, Earl Denovan Bay showing up. Aye.
Yeah. I'm trying to discern where your allegiance lie as a group, whether you're actually aiming for something that I'm hoping not, or whether you're just daft.
I'm going with daft, personally.
Yeah, as bad as it says, I'm gonna go with daft. I don't think we meant any harm, but I think. Do you want to tell them about what we actually did in Honeyheath, Malcolm?
Let me tell you what you guys did in Honeyheath.
Yes, please do, and without insults, if you may. Polite and less aggression. Thank you.
He just eyes her.
She just glares back.
Look, mate, just
Calm
get to the
down,
fucking
kidding.
point.
You guys surely are familiar with elemental planes and the abyssal plane, so on.
No,
No, not really.
Nope.
Never heard of it.
No.
Very well.
Tenya is looking at you with horror as she remembers
Tanya knows.
a certain journal.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry? Okay, Triss is out.
His what?
He's still streaming, but he can't. His main system's just shut down and reset itself.
Right.
Oh shit.
So should we
so-
hold or keep going?
If you're doing exposition stuff, we can always fill him in later. Okay.
Very well. Well, there are rifts across our world, which are passageways between different planes of existence.
Here's in reality.
Pardon?
Here's in reality more than anything.
Yeah. Which there are a total of 6 of them that we know of. We have the elemental planes for ones, where you have fire elementals, air elementals, water elementals, and so on. Each of these.
Wait, who did we just lose?
Tristan.
I just explained
Tristan.
that.
Yep. Sorry. Yeah.
Yep. Each of these rifts are protected by a barrier.
Right.
Each barrier has 3 components that balance each other to keep these barriers in place. There's a living spell focus, a guardian, and an environmental control.
Right. Okay.
Yes. You guys, as I stated, probably noticed that the weather got slightly warmer as you left Honeyheath.
Aye. Big
I'm
storms.
trying to discern if you guys did this on purpose or
No.
whatever. This is a big issue for me, which, pardon my hostility, but this is a big thing.
Are you kind of telling us that you're one of the guardians that sort of looks after these rifts?
In a way, in a sense.
Right. Got you. You're part of the people that do look after them, basically.
We're not very many, but I'm one of them.
Right. Okay. So what did we do specifically that
Well,
screwed up the rift?
on the outskirts of Honeyheath,
Aye.
the rift to the plane of fire resides.
Okay.
And you guys went and destroyed the environmental control.
Okay. What was the environmental control?
He tosses down a...
As you're saying this, Fenny, with your perception, you notice Tenya just sort of curling into herself, kind of just this expression of horror. And you hear her muttering to herself, "Oh God, the bear, the bear."
The bear? Wait, the ice bear? The thing that was attacking Honeyheath? Or at least the honey?
He tosses down a piece of parchment which has depiction of a bear. Only the bear is like slightly... it's not the focus of the image, more like the artifact in its chest is like the picture. It's more detailed, sketched, the artifact, but the bear is like just very poorly sketched around it.
Oh.
Well, you are out of luck, my friend, if you want that returned.
Well, this as a whole it's not just the artifact. It's the whole thing. This was Frostjaw, which you guys killed because you did not. You did kill, if I'm correct, right? You are the heroes of Honeyheath, are you not?
Aye, it was attacking the town, so why would a guardian and
Was
environmental
it?
control?
Was it?
Hang on. I'd like to point out Bear was corrupted.
That's true.
Was it?
I think you are having problem then if these controls that you have, they are being targeted by other things.
At this point, Tenuel pipes up and says that the core that when she took it out was damaged.
Well, this
So,
needs to be looked
yes,
into. If this
we
is
Yeah, it
killed-
true.
wasn't us that damaged the core, but it was us that killed the bear because it was attacking the hives.
Well,
Okay, it was
the
hungry
hives,
going after honey, but you know,
the bear was herbivorous. It ate honey and berries, mostly.
And
well,
listen, we got word a bear was attacking, or well, something was attacking, and something had kidnapped children. All we came across was bear with cave and skeletons. So
And you just decided to attack.
no, bear
Yeah.
attacked us first.
We were
it
looking,
did.
Hang on.
and you got to admit,
out of
on the
character,
face of
did
it,
it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it did.
Yes.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
spotted as an attack.
yeah, and as far as this goes, in retrospect, it wasn't. In retrospect, the bear was just a little bit and had nothing to do with the people missing. That was more Baphomet worshippers trying, Baphomet worshippers who were trying to raise Sir Greg. But we stopped that.
True.
Very well. But like I said, there were three components. There was there was Frostjaw, the bear.
Mm-hmm.
There was the Guardian, which was a mage Slayer Drake.
That we came across.
It is still there.
It is still
Oh,
there.
I know.
Aye.
I know. And there was the
Though-
living spell focus, the White Dragon Egg.
That's still there.
It's still there.
The Drake was
I-
protecting it, and we had no problems leaving the Drake and the egg alone. We respected its boundaries, and we've not spoken of that particular place since to anybody.
No, but you approached the cave, did you not?
Oh, aye,
I'm-
because the bear was there. So
Yes, it would be.
Though I must admit, I am kind of confused that you jump to conclusions so heartily, as if you want us to be blamed for this.
I have no other proof to go on other than what
You
I've...
did not question villagers?
Oh, I did. And you're the heroes of Honeyheath who slayed the bear. And I
And
must
they
admit, most of the villagers are ignorant to what this bear is. They don't know.
As are we, yet we are the ones suspicious. But they did not tell you about missing children?
I
They
will
did not tell you about attacks?
allow me to interject that you would have been told about the Minotaur, but your main focus was that the core was missing. The villagers knew next to nothing about the core, didn't know that it was damaged, other than that your evidence was the dead body of the bear and the missing core.
But that was reason that we were there, the missing children and the attacks. We had no other evidence that it was not the bear until after bear attacked us. So you ignore evidence to focus purely on one aspect and then blame us. That is not very good investigating.
Well,
She has
there's
a
no one
point.
else to blame but you as a group that the bear actually is dead, which is destabilized the barrier of the rift.
But that is
You
thing.
know, if that was
You-
so important, you'd probably want more than just a bear there that could act out, or any kind of written warning, runes, anything like that.
Well, keep in mind
Hang on,
this barrier has
please.
been there for generations.
Please. We were not only grouped there. Cartographers were there as well. Have you questioned them?
I have not encountered them yet.
Not only that, but there is person who attacked cartographers as well. They are the one that took Orb. Have you tracked them down yet? No, you squarely put blame on us, even though there are others there. So my question is, there is evidence to show that there is more to this, but you seem focused on us. Why? Especially
Well,
as we are now being targeted by assassins. So
if you
I
can calm
ask,
down a little
why?
bit and let me continue.
I would like you to tell me. Yes, please do.
Very well. Yes, there might be more to this, or not, for all I know, at this point. I agree. The thing is, this was not an issue until Frostjaw was killed. Before that, there was no issue at all.
That you were aware of.
Well, I have to go with the evidence I have. And the problem did not occur until after you guys slayed Frostjaw. That's
You're
what I
a
have to go
really
off.
shit cop.
So you
Mm.
have event that created.
Okay, let's say this. Let's say this. Let's say this. Let's stop tossing blame around and just for the right of it. This is a lot bigger than if you did something wrong or not.
Right.
So
Firstly,
stop. Let me continue. Instead of
You-
going all defensive, I'll stop. I'll stop being offensive, going on the offense. Okay, and don't go on the defense here, because this is not about you defending what you did or not do. This is about what this entails for the future.
Right.
okay.
We
First
do.
off, hang on.
Children!
First
Barris
off,
says that loud.
first off, one, we are not the ones throwing blame around, as you said. That is all on you. You are very focused on what you believe.
I
You are not
already said let's
Hang
move
on,
past
let
that.
me speak. You have had your turn. I listened politely.
I
Now
have
you
not
do
finished
say-
what I was
you,
going to say. I haven't even started.
You stopped talking. There was pause, so I. Pleasant, polite.
I'm
calm.
afraid I do not have the time to be polite.
There, we have.
At this
So
point,
tell me, where is Core?
I was hoping you guys could tell me where this core is.
I can. Old Donovan B has it.
Oh, yeah, and as far as that goes, we told him earlier about this.
Mhm.
So he knows this.
Well, I know it.
Well-
I find it hard to believe, but as
Tough
far as
shit.
I know, he's dead.
He's not.
Cartographers. They were there
Well,
too. Follow evidence.
well, you say it was him. Can you be certain it was him?
Aye. I asked him his name and he introduced himself as Donovan. Next.
Okay. Well, I am the bishop of. You see how easy that is.
No, you're not.
At this point, Varys says, "Children, all right, we need to get on with this story. Malcolm, can you please continue? And can we please hold all questions until Malcolm finishes his story, please? One person at a time. Malcolm."
What I fear is that the disruption of this one rift might have a chain reaction towards the rest of the rifts. And I am quite certain that no one of you, unless this was planned, which I'm trying to discern, of course, without throwing blame, he looks at Kitty. Without
She just
throwing
raised an
blame,
eyebrow.
I'm trying to discern. But what I'm afraid of is that this might have a chain reaction, as I said. One rift loosened, leading to the next, to the next. If these fail, all manners of speaking of different elementals, abyssal creatures, demons, whatever you have it, will come pouring in. And any other problem you have will be the least.
Right, that does sound like a very big problem, but you
It
have
is.
other problem on this, is that none of us are qualified, strong enough to deal with this.
Who
As
is?
I said, you want to speak to cartographers, go to Mages Guild.
Aye, definitely sounds like something Gertie should be warned about and told about. And no, before you ask, we didn't do it. The villagers of Honeyheath asked us to deal with the threat to their livelihood and people, which was, as far as we could tell, a bear. A big bear was coming in and wrecking the hives and eating their honey, so they asked us to deal with it. So we did.
Oh,
We didn't
wait.
know anything else, so no planning, just trying to defend Honeyheath, and that's all we did. And we smashed up some minotaurs as well, who were causing problems. But that's by the by. As far as the rift goes, aye, that's worrying. 2 out of 3 of the fail-safes, I'm guessing, are there, so it's weakened, but it's not gone.
Oh,
I suggest we
without
try to find. Can we try and find a way to strengthen that rift temporarily, maybe?
if I can
so
stop you
that
right there.
aye,
With the environmental control gone, it's just a matter of time before it fails. I have managed to put up a temporary barrier to hold it in place, but that's only buying time. I need a way to
right.
permanently sort this rift out.
That is something
My
beyond us.
issue.
Wait here.
Well,
I will go and get Gertie.
sit down.
No, I will go and get Gertie.
Yes,
And she
no,
goes off
you
and
will wait.
gets.
You will.
She will goes and gets Gertie.
He casts command.
You. Oh Christ! Here we go.
I hit him with a great axe if the cat is susceptible, because he's just attacked somebody.
No, it's a command. It's not an attack.
It doesn't.
Well,
matter.
It's just
If he is
he's telling-
casting a
he's
spell
basically-
against my will, it
he's
is an attack
basically-
against her.
pointing at her and says, "Sit down." As a spell.
As you are doing this, an alarm rings out from the keep.
What the hell? Should we do the roll off against the command?
Yeah.
What do I need to roll?
You need a wisdom saving throw of 14.
Okay. 17. She turns and glares at you. What did you just try to do to me?
Roland's going to go to the entrance of the tent and see what he can discern what is the alarm. So he's not leaving; he's just sticking his head out.
Well,
Guards
for
are
one,
running everywhere. You
Grabs
see,
one.
let's put a pin in it.
there is one literally running to the camp. Runs in, tries to push past the other guards, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta take it. We need healers. The cartographers have been attacked."
That can't be good. Right, let's on hold.
Malcolm runs off towards where help is needed.
And Varys says, "I'll join you."
Gertie, not Gertie. Jadis is going to follow, but she's going to snag one of the guards, which I'm presuming will actually remain in position. That man does not come back in my camp. Ever.
Nods.
And then
He
follows.
nods and he looks uncertain. as he knows what Malcolm's rank is, unfortunately.
Yeah, you're going to find it very difficult to stop him. Right. To be quite honest, if I catch up with him, I'll just give him a warning that if he steps in the camp again and I see him, I'm bringing my axe down on his head. Simple as that.
How
He
to
attacked
win
me.
friends and
He
influence people.
Well, he attacked Jadis.
Yeah.
Golda will not tolerate that against his friends.
Well, from a role playing perspective, would it have been considered an attack when he just like pointed at someone and basically
Yes.
said, "Sit down"?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're controlling someone
no-
against their will.
It's a
Hold up,
magical
hold
attack.
up, hold up. The only reason you guys are aware of it is because Jadis confronted him about it because she felt her will imposed
Exactly.
upon.
I wouldn't have done anything if Jadis hadn't have reacted, but Jadis reacted like she'd been
Yeah, but
attacked.
did she?
She would
So,
have sensed
as far
it,
as
man.
Golda is concerned, you attack Jadis. It doesn't matter anything else. But he will just say, "Stay away from the camp, or I will drop you." That's the only thing he'll say to Malcolm when he comes up, and whatever Malcolm does after that is up to Malcolm.
Yeah, Jadis has been drugged kind of recently, so she doesn't take well to effects on her. So she would actually count that as an attack as well.
So
That and assassins are kind of
as they're running on, Venny, we are
Yep.
swapping to you and Ren at the keep, who has sensed something of it, was being drawn to the situation there, and sees, basically gets into where Gertie's been examining this body, which have disappeared at this point. Gertie is lying there, unconscious. What Ren can see that no one else can is that her spirit has been severed. She isn't dead, but unless something is done, she will not awaken.
forgive this one, but I do not know how to heal this.
Oh, I'm so
She
glad
was
Tanya's not seen that.
she was drawn there to because she could literally hear Gertie screaming at the guards, and no one seemed to be listening to her. Gertie realizes you can hear her now. What's it? And she looks at her body, looks at you, goes, "Am I dead?"
You are not dead. Just severed. Body still breathes.
Gertie looks at her body with horror.
What happened to you?
I don't know. Someone attacked me. I didn't even have time to turn around. What about my friends? In the distance, you can hear other voices yelling, trying to be heard. Rin.
They are the same. I hear them screaming.
First move in an open war. Take out the strongest defenders first, I guess.
But what is their goal?
I knew that would have taken them out. And there's a hint of hysteria in her voice, and her eyes are wide open. And just looking around, trying to figure something out. Anything.
I am going to investigate the room. See if there's any sort of like a clue at least.
Roll. Okay, yep.
It's not.
You need. There you go. Come on, 3.
That's odd. No, that's because I've got a +3.
Did you activate her again? Could be the issue.
Hang on, let me.
He will do this. Let me do this. I'll activate Ren and Malcolm.
Let me reload my page.
Are you going to need Denzin at some point? Because he's in there.
Yeah, he will be in a second, man. But he's what's drawn Ren is she is actually staying at the keep, and she can hear these people yelling because they're simply. What's attracted her is that they're yelling, and she can sense that there's more spirit than anything, and no one's answering them.
I can't actually kind of see the thing for above VTT on Rin. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, she's apparently assigned as is, but that's fine. They should be active and rolling more properly now.
Right.
Should be. So if you're going to redo that, we'll see what happens. There you go. You find traces of a black ooze-like substance.
I do not recognize this ooze.
Tammin comes into the room, looks at it, stares at you, and focuses hand resting on a bracelet on his left arm, for a moment. He turns to the guards. Sound the alarm!
Salutations. This one is Rin. Her spirit has been severed, but I suspect others have too. They are screaming.
Turns to one of the guards. Find other cartographers now. Search keep for anyone that this has happened to. He looks at you, Lady Ren. If you wouldn't mind guiding my guards here to these other voices that you can hear.
The body is still alive, but it is beyond me to relink.
Oh, we'll get healers. How could this happen?
There is ooze on floor.
Looks at it, kneels down. Similar, but not to the doppelgangers.
What is doppelganger?
People taking the form of others. We assumed they were assassins.
Assassins usually want people dead. These are incapacitated.
And we have to reevaluate everything.
Maybe used for later. Preserved, but out of way. She sort of
Takes a deep
cocks her head
breath.
to the side and sort of like kind of a gaze sort of like kind of just falls to the wayside.
Creepy.
Tammin just stares. It changes everything. All it does is create more questions.
I will go find other screaming voices.
At this point, Varys, Malcolm, everyone that's running up to the keep, you are getting to the keep and head up to the. It's not hard to find where the problem is, where Gertie is, and word passes that all of the cards are down. This has happened to all of them.
All of them are down.
All of them.
Aside from the goo, I'm going to do a medicine check to see if I can use my to see if there's anything wrong with the bodies.
Righto.
18.
Perfectly healthy. There is nothing physically wrong with them.
Do you want me to do an intelligence to work out if they are quote unquote brain dead?
It's not something that would be a medical sort of thing there, man, that they'd understand it, that sort of situation. And Timon is there, and he pointed out that a strange cat person has told him the spirits have been severed from the body.
Yeah, these bodies are fine. There's nothing. I can heal. I heal bodies. I don't reconnect
2 seconds.
spirits. We need to go to we need to go to the library now.
I forgot about my chips in the oven. They are now burnt.
Oh, no.
No.
Sorry. I've turned the oven off. Carry on.
So you are literally
Wait.
all there at the situation that's happened with the cartographers gathered around Gertie as a focal point, because that's where you were told. Well, that's where it first happened. It was discovered. And Tammin organises to have them all moved to an infirmary room.
Tamond, if these spirits are sticking with near the bodies, like the weird cat lady said, maybe we need to keep them near their spirits for now. We should ask them.
Rin is there. I don't know if Penny's back, but
Yes, I am.
their bodies are. The spirits are traveling to the bodies. They are. There's. She notes that there is a thin silvery cord attached from basically belly button to belly button, and it either they seem to move with it, or if they don't, they are dragged by that cord.
All right, as long as they are still linked to the bodies and moving them isn't going to sever what little connections left.
Tether is fragile, though. Best not break it.
Did we move the bodies then?
We can't care from there here.
The bodies have got to be kept alive, else that link will probably sever it even quicker. Nice and slow, lads.
We need to have them tended.
Lady, can you
and
ask
maintain
the
them.
cartographers to follow their bodies where we can take care of them?
They can hear you.
Ah, good. If you would,
You-
please, that'd be great, cartographers. I know you can't answer. We'll try and figure this out as fast as we can.
We need to go to the library and try and find out if this happened.
You definitely need to go to the library.
May I suggest a priest?
Probably a good idea. Who's the best priest after Titus that's in the keep?
Tamond points at Raven, who's lying there.
I did. Come on. That's still upright and walking about.
And not untethered.
I'll see who I can find.
Thank you, Tamand.
Malcolm will have a look.
Roll a religion for me.
Oh shit! That's an 18.
Nice.
I try and contact my lady. And she just sort of like kind of sits down on
Okay.
the ground in a lotus position.
Religion. Or you can do that through straight intelligence. Malcolm,
I think intelligence probably would have been better.
roll intelligence. I'm fine for you to redo it. Because she isn't a priest as such. I realise I...
Slightly better. A fraction.
Malcolm. You lean forward. Pray. Who's your deity?
I believe it would be Farai.
The Shadow Dragon. Okay.
Yes.
There is no response. But you do recall something taught to you by your father about the man who supposedly killed Earl Denovan Bay, an assassin that was known as the Soul Knife, who severed the souls from his victims and kept them as trophies.
This is
And
not good.
I start talking, Malcolm. You're not exactly in our best books at the moment.
He raises an eyebrow. Neither of you in mine.
Right.
Hammond
But
looks
we
at you
have not
and
attacked as... We have not
Hammond
attacked.
looks at you all and raises his hand and goes, I don't give a damn at the moment. The greatest heroes this land has known in many centuries lie on the brink. This is not the time for arguments. Any
Right
information.
enough.
Basically, he tells you to stow it and get over it.
I would like to put my hand up for an action.
Yep, go for it.
Titus, while this is going on, has gone and found a quiet, dark corner. He has taken the arrow in its coverings, kind of laid it in front of him.
Titus, you mean Colwyn?
Yeah, excuse me. So many things. And placed his amulet between the darkness and light. My Lady of Darkness, see now how the shadow spreads, as is your will. But know that we cannot honour you if there is no light to cast the shadow. Your direction I beseech at this time, for I am your instrument in this.
Religion for me.
Okay. I'm going to spend my inspiration to reroll that. Much better. Oh, wait, no! The fuck is this?
You're being sarcastic.
No.
Change your dice set, maybe.
Hold up. Sorry, Ed, Colin, what was that? The scene's going to move forward. It's just whether you're going to be included in it.
Yeah. So no, he's doing that, and he's waiting to see if he gets a reply or acknowledgement.
Honestly,
and if he does,
you are going to catch the edge of this even with that 5. It is not a hard DC. It is massive. Malcolm, Rin, from Faria for Malcolm and Colwyn, for Rin from Bassett, you get a wave of feeling the world tearing itself apart in elemental violence, forces of darkness turning it into a battlefield. You get, and this is Rin only, you get an image of a almost gleaming platinum dragonborn with jaws hanging over it, a sense of absolute threat, followed by a vision of the world shattering.
The images Malcolm gets with the elemental waging war, does he get the sense that this is exactly what he's fearing?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Rin gets a sense that that is only a foreshadowing of a greater threat.
She stands up and brushes off her dress.
How is she looking?
Colin, you got the
She's staring off into
visions,
space.
but it was a bit blurred and it was a bit hard to understand. There was just so much of it, and you're not exactly trained to interpret visions.
yeah, he's gonna pass out from just straining brain. Oh, this is too much. Yeah. So yeah, someone might hear him hit the floor somewhere.
Thump. Oh, it would appear Colwyn's passed out. I'll check on him. So I go over to see what he's been doing.
You see
This
the
is
arrow
not-
on the border of light and dark there, Builder. And he's just slumped forward. He was in a meditative kneeling position as if he had been praying or some such. Sorry, Rin, go on.
Well, he started, so I'll go next.
Right. It'll only take me a minute. He tries to slap Colwyn awake and force some dwarven ale down his throat. Back with us then.
I was trying to see if I could get any more answers.
Question for you, Venny. Is Jadis here as well?
Yes, she would have followed everybody.
Yeah. So her whole crew's there, save the tailor and the Minotaur, who, speaking of who, is standing in the doorway just watching quietly. Has not drawn attention to himself there as a note, Phil.
Den's in.
Yeah.
Right, hang on a second.
Oh, hang on. And so everyone went to the keep?
That's a 23 on stealth for Den's.
Everyone went to the keep.
All right.
An alarm sounded, and everyone pretty much ran. If your perception's not 23 or above, none of you are going to notice the scrawny Minotaur in the door, shadows of the door.
Oh. This is not good. Fire
It's
will
not
burn
good at
the
all.
world. Water will flood. Winds will howl.
Elementals
The
wage
earth will
war.
break. And the jaws of death loom over the voice. The platinum one. The platinum one will sever. Will be devoured.
Is Jin kicking about at this point? Or is he
Yeah,
severed
he's
as well?
Jed is on the floor in front of you, on a bed in front of you.
Ah.
All cartographers are out.
Oh.
Varys is going to. Does Varys see Malcolm in the room?
Everybody's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, the only one he's unaware of is Denson.
Alright, Varys is going to pull Malcolm aside and say, alright, so where are these other rifts for people to check out?
You've got the information there.
I just had a sense. First off, the other rifts, I will see if I can gather up a group and go investigate a few of the other rifts myself. But for now, though, I believe first order is to figure out some way to restore the one in Honeyheath. You guys are already familiar with the area. You guys are the one who, well, without throwing blame, actually severed that first one.
If I could, that if you can do a stealth roll for your tailor friend.
I hate to be bearer of bad news, Jadis pipes up, but there is nothing that we can do to mend Rift if we do not have core. We need to track down these cores.
Just as a wee point, does it have to be that core? Or could it be any core?
But you have spare knocking around?
We
These
know if
cores
two
are
of,
not exactly easy to come by.
we know of 2 barges on the bloody river that have got 2.
I know of the barges you speak. They're of a different caliber.
Right.
Entirely.
So
No.
finding one of the old war
Hold up. Actually, the one the bear had was smaller, same size as the ones on the barge. It wasn't a full Warforged core. It was.
That's right. Yeah.
But it would be specific to its task, wouldn't it?
No, it was tied to as an anchor for the. Basically, what they do, Malcolm would be aware of this, is that the environmental controls basically set the elements against each other, neutralizing each other due to cancelling. They act as a conduit for forces to negate, which is why if one fail, they all start to fail. And he'd be aware of that. So with the fire one disrupted, it is surging out of control, which is going to damage other cores through the.
And Malcolm relates this to the rest of the group, of course.
All right. And so, as far as this, if we can get one of the barge cores, how do we make it cold or whatnot to make it a what is it? An environmental. How do we
Control.
turn it into the cold environmental control?
I would have thought that this young man here has probably got contacts and people who know how to do that within his group.
Sorry. We need to probably say who we are talking as.
Hoping that people can actually, I'm hoping people can pick up on my accent changes when.
I'm sort of hoping that I do as well.
Okay.
It's me, Golder. You know, Mad Dwarf. I'm guessing that Malcolm knows people who would know how to attune the core to its task, because that's what his order's partly responsible for and doing. So, in order to maintain it, you must know how to do it. So, if
To be
Malcolm can
honest,
arrange that, we could go and have a word with the barge guys and grab one of the cores. They'd still have one barge working, so it wouldn't be so bad
Brings
for them.
me to the point that Malcolm will be aware that now that it's been disrupted, the only way to do it is to take a drastic measure that not even Elden Bay was sure it would work, which was an artifact that could basically, it's a reverse Jaws of Life. They'd rip these rifts closed, but once you started on one, you had to push as quickly as possible to do all of them, because you've then disrupted the chain and the completely.
Wait, what if control was not the core? Core extended life. What if control was Ice Bear?
no.
We do not have another Ice
Yeah.
Bear.
Roll Arcana for me,
Who,
Who?
me?
both of
Yeah.
you, and Malcolm.
Shit. At 14.
You
Oh wait,
vaguely
hang
recognise.
on. I rolled that on Rin. Sorry.
No, she'd be thinking about it as well with an arcane base. And
Yeah,
Oh,
Jadis,
nice one,
Jadis, who
you
knows nothing about kind of arcane.
know from what he said and everything. You know you're right. The core was to extend and to create the conduit for the force that was existent in the bear.
Hmm.
It was frost based to be able to contain, to act as a funnel for the firepower energy. To transmit it to oppose the other element.
So we cannot. Well, wait. I have. What? Oh. They use Ice Bear and Core because they do not know magic. In elemental magic or runic magic, would Ice Rune Array work?
There's no way of knowing. There's no one there that actually knows runic magic, possibly except Gulda, and he'd have no knowledge of it either.
Nope.
The
To
only
be
one
honest,
there who would have an idea would be either Raven, and he says
is
to
that
Rin,
cold?
that won't work.
Or Grimnir.
No,
So,
runes will not work. Was good thought though.
From the
Well, fuck.
Raven says, from the sounds of it, it requires the energy of life, and runes do not live.
Could we hatch egg?
What egg?
The white dragon egg.
The white dragon egg.
Well, the white dragon egg is already one of the 3 components.
yeah.
So
You
by
may-
hatching that to use it, what would you then use as the living spell focus instead of the white dragon egg?
And Malcolm will point out that a disruption of that part of the thing would be a catastrophe greater than the loss of the bear.
Mhm.
It would be instant
So-
release of elemental force and the rift being torn wide open.
So we need replacement ice. But living. Where would we find another ice bear?
Up in the mountains, probably. But
Well, I do not know if ice bears are on this continent.
M-
Does anybody?
Malcolm, you're aware that this was a created creature through
Well-
magic. that it,
I do know this creature was back in. It was Earl Denovan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, back in Mr. Earl Denovan Bay's time, this bear was actually manufactured. It was created. It's not bred. It's
Okay.
created.
Jadis is going to kind of shift her gaze onto Tanya. Could you make ice bear?
Hey now. I work with mechanical beings. Don't put that sort of pressure on me.
Well, it was thought.
I mean, my
Tanya.
creations aren't actually living.
Tanya. Even
So-
without any role, you know that is far beyond your abilities.
Yeah, that's basically what she's trying to get through.
Can I do a history check on the book I was given? Because that book contains history way back beyond recorded stuff. Is there
Sure.
anything in is there anything in that which rings a bell with any of this?
That's your Feywild book?
Yes.
That's an interesting.
I don't
Damn
even
it.
have to roll it. Okay.
Quick question, Ash.
It is not the focus of this, man. It's an elven focus, and this was human magic. Yes.
Quick question,
Rin
Ash.
is...
Hold up.
Sorry,
Tanya.
go on.
Go on,
No,
Rod.
go on.
What?
Okay. Tanya has a book. Would if she showed she's going to show this to Malcolm and ask, "Can you discern any of this? Would Malcolm recognize language? Recognize anything in this book?"
He would speak that language, yes. And he roll an investigation check on it for me.
Investigation.
Yeah, Malcolm.
Mm-hmm.
6.
He is desperately searching that book for something specific.
Rin is going to turn to Gertie. Do you
Let
know
me-
of anything?
Hold up. You hear under your voice as Malcolm's searching. Artifact, it's got to be here somewhere. Gertie. From what everyone said, Earl Denovan Bay always had a backup plan. What was his backup plan for this?
Maybe we need to ask him.
I second that. Malcolm says.
Right, I need to nip and get me mum lunch. I'll be back in a
All
minute
right.
or 3.
Okay.
Well, there is
I do
problem.
second that. I do second that, though. From what you're saying, he doesn't sound very friendly. Although I do find it hard to believe it is actually him.
Well, there is issue of he is the one who is taking cores as well. So even if we replace core, what is stopping him coming try take it again?
As this is you're saying this, Jadis, Denzin, you feel a massive hand fall on your shoulder. Glancing at it, see bright red skin.
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
Drags the Minotaur into the room with him. If you're going to listen, at least have the manners to let them know you're here. Pushes him to one side, comes forward, looks around the room, frowns, shakes his head. I thought I could help. I can do nothing against this.
Can Malcolm sense anything from
Roll
this?
religion for me.
Religion is so low. Yeah, no, 5.
How can a cleric have low religion? Shame.
Because religion is intelligence based.
Well, you know what? Through the sheer power of this NPC, you could have rolled a 1 and still sensed it.
I did roll a 1 on Rin.
Yeah, but it's a 7. Anyway, rolling and rolling off this person, you sense sheer divine power that staggers you. And for them to say that they can do nothing to aid the cartographer beggars your mind.
Koo. You've been around longer than I have. Have you ever heard of a soul stealer?
Soul Stealer?
Malcolm hasn't said anything about that yet.
My bad then. Sorry.
Who,
A lot of stuff's been said. I've forgotten. I sometimes forget what's
Oh, much stuff.
heard and stuff.
who bends down to one of the bodies, touches the side, and goes, looks at Rin, beckons her closer. Do you see the wound?
Does she?
Look with your third eye, child. And she does. It is a wound made on the spiritual plane, not on the physical plane of it.
Oh.
Which is exactly what the soul knife would do.
I'm back.
Back.
Tenzin has
missed?
been dragged into the room by Ku arriving.
Really?
Yeah.
How do we fix this?
He looks around the room at everyone and shrugs his shoulders. I'm a simple warrior.
Who can we ask?
I highly doubt you're a simple warrior, friend.
Smiles. The scope may be that different, but the statement stands.
Well, it's an honor to meet you.
Nods.
Tanya just goes, "Phew," runs up and gives him a hug.
Endures it.
Koo, my friend. It appears that we need to get. It appears that we need to find our mystery man who took the arcane
Shakes his head.
claws.
Shakes his head. He is not responsible for this.
Yeah, but apparently we need the arcane cause to fix this.
As you've stated,
Yeah.
you might actually have access to.
Hold up. Rin, he looks at Rin. Goes, who do you ask?
If how to fix this, you said that you don't know. Because you are a simple warrior.
I would suggest my brother, but he has been missing for years beyond counting. He was always the wisest of us. He is beyond all communication as well. He pauses, looks at you, though maybe your voice might reach him.
Who is your
Where
brother?
would I find him?
And that would be the palace, I say.
Oh, right, yes, never mind. Then I shall go.
Who is your brother, if I may ask?
The platinum
Raised an
one.
eyebrow. No, that would be. He's simply known as the Bard.
Malcolm instantly raises an eyebrow.
The
The bard,
progenitor
you
of
say?
spoken word, the instigator of all thought itself, the ability to think, to create creativity itself.
May I ask you how
He's a
long?
little bit of awe in his voice as he talks about
May I ask you how long has it been since you spoke with your brother?
it. Since the fall, been searching for him.
If he walks up closer to Ku, and I'm not sure if you know, but I might have some information.
He pauses, waits expectantly.
Are you aware of the rift of the abyssal plane?
Lifts you by the front of your armor. Speak plainly. I do not have the patience for games or questions. Not when you
Very
speak
well.
family.
Did you hear everything earlier about? Oh well, no, he wouldn't have, because he again tells him about the three components required for every barrier of the different rifts, and then he speaks to him about the abyssal.
Do you tell him
and
where it
mentions
is?
He does not initially know, but he does say what he knows to be the living spell focus.
He looks down, frowns, and a tear rolls down his cheek. That fool, always braver than he was. Dunno.
Yeah, because he also tells how it happened that he offered himself as the.
When
That's all I'm going to
Earl Bay
say.
arrived there, when Earl Bay arrived there to do something about that one, it was already done.
Hmm.
His shoulder slumps and he lowers you back to the floor. You see in your armor that his fingers have made dents into it as if it was simple cloth.
He kind of like stretches his neck a bit and dusts himself off, like he shrugs, kind of nervously. Well, I'm sorry to be the bringer of bad news, my friend.
The platinum one is also in danger.
Whose head snaps up as you say that. He starts to say something but shakes his head and goes, I cannot. The balance must be maintained. He looks at you. I am Ku, the Wanderer. Keeper of the balance.
Salutations. This one is Rin.
Natural god of Vesuvius.
She
I
tilts
could
her head
explain
to
the
one side.
difference between a natural god and a divine god to you, but I believe in emotions to Rin that this one can do that.
Natural gods are of the earth, they're of the planet. It chose them.
And divine gods are creatures of imagination, born of hopes and dreams of the people.
Ideas brought to life.
The natural god exists to balance them and maintain the world.
Where's the diviner of the people?
As I said, I am of balance. The natural gods must maintain neutrality, or we destroy everything.
If you don't mind me asking, you said Mr. whoever claims to be Earl of
Shakes his
Novan
head,
Bay,
shakes his head, holds up his hand, and says he's not claiming.
so he is.
Aye.
Oh, yeah.
And did you say that he is not responsible for this?
No. No! This would be the last thing he would want. Do you
Then
think
why
he's
did
some
he...
mad and evil monster?
No, that's
Misguided,
exactly what
perhaps,
I do not...
but far from it.
Help me out here, Asher. We never actually...
He leans forward and goes, he walks a path of ascension, though he has lost his due to having no balance.
You keep cutting out, Ash.
Is that better?
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
It's just the way I'm talking. As I said, he walks the path of balance, of ascension. Sorry,
Ascension, yeah.
But he's misguided due to being unbalanced.
Always in
But then
threes,
again...
there must be. Always
Then again...
Rests his hand on Rin's shoulder and goes, always in freeze, child. But
then
any
again...
loss will unbalance.
Why would he now then go after these cores?
Maybe he sees a greater threat. You do not.
the jaws of death that come for the platinum one.
Smiles at Rin sadly. Even I don't know what that is, child. We see only the shadow. It is of the planet. But beyond it, it is hungry. So hungry.
Well, it does not mean that we can ignore these rifts. Something
Shakes
has
his
to
head.
be done with them.
Shakes his head. What threatens the platinum one? You would be destroyed by thought. Though all things such as that require support and empowerment from somewhere, foundation. He turns to you, Malcolm, looks at you hard. You will tell me where my brother is. It isn't a question.
I will. But again, let me ask you what do you intend
He
to
leans
do?
forward and says, you will tell me where my brother is.
you
Best
don't.
answer. Gods don't like to be kept waiting.
The rift is located in the White Waste.
His face darkens and goes, what do you know of this place? And there is a extremely hard note to his voice.
Me, myself, personally, not that much.
It visibly relaxes. I have time for a few more questions, but then I leave. I must see if I can do anything for my brother.
Would this
Very
one
well.
be required?
We will all. He looks at you, looks at all of you, and goes, we will all be required, child. As I said, this is I will have my own battles in the days to come, as will my brethren. This, and what you can do, must be handled by mortals.
You said I would be one to contact him. Would this one be required with you?
No. As much as I need to say, do something for my brother. The threat to the Platinum One, too grave. And I will not explain why that is so. Though I believe your people have law on it, since it directly affects them. And gently touches Rin under the chin.
Are you?
If you do not, possibly ask your Empress, your divine queen, as she were.
Are you
I will
planning
speak with
on
her.
disrupting the barrier of the abyssal plane?
Ignores Malcolm completely, still in conversation with Rin.
I will go see her.
Maybe her
Someone is breathing heavily, or there is a constant
probably my fan.
breathing in the background, guys.
Probably my fan, but I'm not hearing it.
No, I'm not hearing anything either.
He looks at Rin and goes, if there's one more directly in lineage, they may also know. I believe her heir is here.
Oh. Yes. I will go speak with her. And Rin heads out the door.
Nods. Turns to Malcolm. I mean, no disrespect, sir. But if I could pull my brother free, I would in an instant. If he would allow me, though I doubt he will.
Very well.
And he's not glaring at you per se, he's just staring at you and going, who the hell do you think you are? He's dignified your question with a response, but you get the impression that it's a mercy that he's shown you.
It was just a question.
He is a god, and you are questioning him.
To be fair, it is sort of Malcolm's job to question everybody.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't mean that it's a good idea or that
Well,
it
yeah,
can
exactly.
go well for
true.
you.
What information does Denzin have about all of this situation and what he needs to do from his superiors, etc.?
But Denzin, the question is now that he would have heard most of it and been aware of it, as well as the ooze or whatever, which you gather is tied to the attempts at you assumed assassination or sort of abduction or whatever it was to infiltrate, to disrupt. So basically, he'd gathered this is all tied together, leading back to whoever is behind everything.
Has he any idea of a path to who that is, or has he been given any names?
Nope.
To target? Apart from maybe Oleg.
It would have been
the Baron.
Those would be the names he has, as well as investigating any alliances they have.
Right.
But on reporting this, he will most definitely be activated.
Well, it's a massive threat to the kingdom, isn't it? So.
Yep. It's a massive threat to the entirety of Asedius, man.
That's not his concern.
It kind of is.
Well, he's tasked with protecting the kingdom, and he's not
Yeah.
tasked with,
I
This is
mean,
a
but if the world blows up, what's going to happen to the kingdom?
well, exactly. But, he would stick with investigating within Soulsguard and those people who have known to be
Yeah.
traitors. So,
Yeah. Yep.
and finding
So
that threat.
we have location of rifts, two of which are one we know of, one being dealt with by our big red friend here. That leaves two to investigate.
I thought there was 6 rifts.
There's 6 rifts.
Oh, 6. That leaves 4.
Well, first order of business is stabilizing the first, which has already been broken. I myself would like to head out, gather a group, head out and investigate what sort of state the remainings are in.
But we need to have plan on how to stabilize Rift.
I agree.
And the only person who knows that is our fine Mr. Malcolm here.
I do not have any
Well-
information on how to stabilize it. This is something that was created long before my age. This is lost knowledge.
As I've said a few
Alright,
times,
I mean,
Whoa.
If I may,
Go.
we have established that Earl's Bay would have backup plan. So we need to find him and ask him how to fix this.
And I've
I
said
did-
it previous. Can I?
Mhm, mhm.
I've said previously that Malcolm is aware of an artifact that was placed in a vault somewhere specifically for this situation. It's just a matter of being able to get to the various rifts quickly
But
enough
he has-
after that.
But he has not mentioned.
Would I know
Nope.
the location of this artifact?
No.
No, exactly. Yeah. Okay. I will diverge this information.
and what is the name of this artifact? Maybe it has appeared in books, Varys says. I'm also going to point out here. I'm also going to point out that it's interesting because there's a nondescript man and who's sitting over the body of is sitting over the body of the name of the Dragonborn from the first campaign.
Tenzin.
Jin.
No, Jin. Yeah.
Jin.
Oh,
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
interesting because Jin has a friend over his body. And
did you roll that stealth that I asked you for earlier?
Yeah, 12, but he's not really trying to look. He's there because his friend is in trouble. He's in the
So
infirmary because his friend is in trouble.
You've
If I
walked
can
into
take
this
a brief moment, there is so much going on. There is so
Yeah.
much information that I might have to request that we stop here because I cannot take all of this in. I cannot process all of this. And
Okay.
there's a lot of people with a lot more information than I do for
Okay,
stuff
so-
going on.
We'll slow it down there. What do you need, Ed, to know?
I honestly, I think I just need us to find a natural place to stop because this is just a bit much.
Yeah, it was pretty much a man and had been dropped on you.
Yeah,
Hammond walks into the room.
which is fine, but I cannot. There's a limit to how much. Yeah,
Hammond walks into the room, looks at the tailor, the nondescript man, looks at Jin, nods. I think we need to have a conversation somewhere.
Who does he
Discreetly.
say this to?
Everybody, or everyone in the room that is involved in this discussion. It includes G in it.
Hammond, my friend, we are all here. If you can suggest a better place.
Looks at Jadis. Might we use your tent?
My door is always open for those in need.
Conversation is required. Follow me. And you proceed to the camp. Blood tests are done. And head into the tent, find a place, make yourselves comfortable. Now, and I will summarize for people as what has happened. Basically, he says, to my understanding, and what you've told me now, is that these rifts, points at Malcolm, have been put in a volatile state where they will exponentially grow worse until they rupture.
This is correct.
Points at Ren. You have expressed that there is a threat to the undying emperor.
Rin went to go and see her sister.
Sorry, yeah. Cousin. Oh, she can be sister if you want. I don't care.
Nah, cousin works better.
My understanding is that the Mao has stated that there was a threat, looks at Malcolm and Coleman, to the Platinum Dragonborn, Undying Emperor.
Which, well, I can share later.
That there is the immediate threat. This both these rifts and this assassin, these doubles, as it were. Is that the sum of it? Is that the sum of what threatens us?
Sounds accurate to me.
The options to counter it. Holds up his hand briefly. And 1 moment, sir. The options are to research, to find a way to either stabilize the rift, or points at Malcolm again, to find a lost artifact that can force them closed, to heal them.
Malcolm nods.
Does that sum it up, the situation?
Pretty much, Tammin.
I believe it does.
Aye, sounds good to me.
Jadis is going to kind of look at Colin. You are very quiet. Are you okay?
There's a lot to digest here. I've got 1,000,001 things that I've got to worry about, and now we've got to try and help organise saving the world. On top of that, it's a hell of a thing to drop on a bunch of people.
Tammin looks at you and goes, "What do you need to organise? The all trade?" Raise an eyebrow. It seems a threat there is part and parcel of this.
Aye, he's right. It's all interconnected. There's something behind this driving it.
Yeah.
Well-
And at this point, Varys.
Right, if you want to explain it to the people involved, that's fine, but I can't. I don't have the words for it.
I'm not sure any of us do, to be quite honest. All we can do is our best. And that best, as we have proven, when we really do get our act together, is quite spectacular. Let's face it. I reckon
Well-
we split into teams and go and solve one problem at a time and do what we can. Because if we can get the rifts closed, that's a slight headache. It puts them back. It puts them on the back foot. If we can find out through, like, Oleg and his Baron friend and try and trace back through that network, that puts them on the back foot and gives us an advantage. At the moment, they're in front, but we can, and I've no doubt we will, get to the bottom of this and stop it and nip it in the bud before anything more happens. We've got to, for the sake of everybody. It doesn't matter about what we need for ourselves. We've got no world if we don't sort this.
Yeah, I'm getting that.
There
And if you want to
is-
be all casual about it, that's absolutely fine. But for me, this
No.
was not what I was prepared for getting up today. So excuse me if I'm a little subdued.
Colin, my
Kevin.
friend, I'm breaking it. I might have an outward calm, but inside, I'm quietly crapping myself, if I'm being absolutely honest with you, my friend.
Hammond smiles and goes, "Might move wearing your brown pants."
Right?
If anyone looking at Tanya at this point would see her skin having a slight green tone.
You're right there, Tanya.
Jadis
Yeah.
is gonna slide her hand down Colin's arm and grab his hand, and you can feel her shaking. It seems to
Right.
me there is lots that we as people cannot do. We simply do not have knowledge or power. However, as Golder has pointed out, we can split into teams. We have network of people from all over. Thank you, Tamand.
Well,
So, way I see it, we have two avenues that we can follow. We split into two parties. One chases Oleg, one goes for item in vault. If we get item, we can fix rifts. We do not need to go to individual rifts. There is nothing we can do there until we know how to fix them. That is
Yeah.
what I see.
Aye.
Just
I'm
point me
with
at a
you
job
on that one.
I'm equipped to deal with. That's all I'm asking.
Hammond looks at you and goes, "You, sir, can basically continue as you've been doing, working with the Shadow Summit."
You go after
No.
Oleg.
Hammond's a
Okay.
scary man that he knows exactly what's going on.
You are already on path to go for Oleg. Seems silly to move you to somewhere else. Plus, daggers in back seem good idea for him.
I'm with you on that one. I can't argue with that, and I can't say that there is anybody better that I know for doing that deed.
Okay. Well, let me know who I'm going with, what and when. I'm going to go and sit down and have a nice, quiet drink.
Do you know
Hammond,
what? That sounds like a bloody good idea to me. And
Hammond
considering
punches it out.
my expertise in Oleg and the rest of it, I reckon I should probably be part of that party. So I'm going to go join Colwyn with that bloody drink. I think I need it. And he goes off to find Colwyn.
That is smart choice. I will volunteer for Oleg party too. Artifacts and arcane not my specialty. I will be useless.
Well, I can certainly go ahead and join a team hunting this artifact. Well, the artifact.
Is that
I
Malcolm?
probably have. This
that
is Malcolm, yes.
Yeah.
Right.
I
I
was
tend
going
to
to
try
say
to make my
Henry
voice
Rift.
a little bit softer when I do.
You
Tanya.
do, but
Yeah.
you were speaking a little softly there as it was.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but
That's
yeah,
right.
I will. I can spearhead the search for the artifact.
Hanya would be useful on that too.
I'm not
Don't do
sure.
this to me, Vanny.
You've got 2 artifact people, I'm afraid. That's on you.
Yeah. Oh God, really? No, I would suggest that.
Hammond lean forward. Can I suggest that you keep the party that has been working together?
And
Do you know
Denzin,
each other's strengths?
I have no problem with this.
yes.
At this point, Varys and G say, if I think it may be better if I go if I go help with Oleg, because that's more intelligence based work. As far as these rifts and stuff, that seems
Yes, but
Varys's.
Hammond looks at you and goes, "But you know, so I say."
Hmm.
And if they have to travel to Saisei, steering the threat to the Emperor.
We don't
If
know
I
where the
may.
artifact is. The artifact could be anywhere around the world.
Well, if I may, if we're all going to attempt to trust each other, I might as well share this. We've mentioned most of the 4 elemental rifts and the abyssal. We've talked about the Undying Emperor. There is another rift, the 6th, to the infernal plane, where, as far as I know, the living spell focus is the Undying Emperor.
Ah.
Located in the Imperial Palace in Saisei,
Oh.
the rift.
Sorry, just my notes. Did you say the Infernal Rift? That's the Infernal Rift?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Seven
the
Hells
rift in
plane.
the infernal plane, yes.
And they like nothing more than a good deal and bargain. Fortunately, guide of law.
Mm-hmm. So just be wary if your group happens to end up in that area.
Hmm.
And he looks over to Jadis. I believe I owe you an apology.
That is fine. I must admit I am stressed. I am in charge of little ones here, and I cannot leave them currently until replacement comes.
Perhaps your replacement is already here, madam. Your acolyte, Daisy, is it? She's very capable. Time for her to step forth?
Could be, but I will need word from Guild. I am still training myself.
You say that. But I have great confidence in you, madam.
Well, that makes us one of us. I will contact my guild mistress.
A good plan.
Hammond, my good man,
Mm-hmm.
we have our ways of communicating within our branch. Would you think that it would be appropriate to have such means of communication between these 2 groups?
looks at you, sighs, reaches into a pouch, hands Jadis a sending stone.
Thank you.
And I will keep one for myself.
He'd already have one.
Yeah.
It's part of that network.
This way, our two parties can keep in touch, keep each other updated.
Most appreciated.
A good plan. You never know when a piece of information might help the other.
This is very true. Especially if this is all indeed interconnected.
I don't think there is little doubt at this point.
All right. But this is somewhat in character, but also somewhat out of character. So, so Varys says, "All right. So exactly why does the assassins want the rifts open then? It. Forgive me for being plain about this, but why would how are these
What
connected?
assassins?
I'm talking about the assassins in the shadow and the shadow war. How is this all connected, though?
You mean the Shadow Hand?
Yes.
Or the... honestly, I don't think it's him. I think it's whoever's behind it all. As has been stated, all of your
I agree.
organizations have been infiltrated.
It's whoever the infiltrators are.
My
I think at this
suggestion
point,
would be to start with finding this Oleg, and from there, Baron Cedric Carnor.
For all intents and purposes, we don't even know if Oleg is behind this. We don't know that he is behind this because he wants the rifts, this or that. It might just be that he's been manipulated to do the assassinations because someone else wants the rifts, this and that. We don't know.
All
I
you can do is
suspect
follow the
that,
information.
I suspect that Oleg is a foot soldier, albeit maybe a sergeant, but he's not one of the important people. The Baron,
He
on
might
the other
be.
hand,
Yeah.
strikes me that the Baron recruited Oleg, and Oleg went willingly because of his resentment for his clan.
Okay, I've got a dip, guys.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm
I think we're gonna.
full, and
I think
right now,
I think we're reaching the end anyway, Ed. So
yeah, we're
Okay.
winding down.
Yeah, this is all way too heavy for one session.
Cameron
Ed.
looks at you all and goes, as stated, we need to. I need time to process. I think we all do.
Agreed.
I suggest we take a break, have something to eat, drink, relax, and we come back to this.
I suggest we get some rest, actually. Maybe continue this in the morning.
Would be advised.
Some drinks
Yeah,
first.
I think Colwyn's already started, haven't they?
Pretty much. They brought a small keg back in with them.
Of course he did, because Golda. He wouldn't have missed the opportunity. Maybe got some dwarven brandy while he was at it. Good luck with that one, everybody.
Anyway, let us take some time and we'll return to this. And that's where we'll wind it down, guys.
Thank God
you
for that.
for sort of bearing with us while I drop the mountain on these guys.
Mountain. It was an entire range.
It was a continent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
we
John
get it.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for bearing with us, and we will be back next week to wind deeper down this rabbit hole.
Great.
And
MVP.
try to potentially sort it out. Yep. Start from the top, Colwyn.
I honestly couldn't tell you because there was so fucking much.
You
We
know
had
what?
2 players playing 2 characters.
You know what I'm going to do is everybody's going to get an inspiration for bearing through that because that was a lot.
All right then.
And
Okay, that's both characters getting an inspiration.
yeah, yeah.
Wow. Inspiration for you. You get an inspiration.
Having said that, we will last one session. Next session.
Very
Right.
well.
That's fair enough.
More than fair.
Oh, and Ed, do you actually have a backup character?
What's going to ask?
Yeah. Or a second character?
Phil, don't ask.
Not at the moment. Let him process me.
Fair play. Can't argue with that, Ed.
I'm being as polite as I possibly can be, so I'm just going to
Yeah.
say, don't ask.
That's fine.
And on that bombshells,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Well
will
done,
see
everybody,
you.
by the way.
I'll see you shortly, Ed.
I'm going to need to take some time just to depressurize, and I'll give you a bell.
Yeah, that is fine. I need to clean my flat anyway if you're coming over.
Yeah.
And I will
Okie
meet you.
dokie. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. I'll catch you later.
See you later.
All right. Cheers, Ed.
Bye.
Suggestions on names for the session.
Can I put forward Bombshell?
Molehills out of mountains.
Weight of the world.
It's not bad either.
Chaos at the Crossroads.
That's quite good.
The shit hath hit the fan.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to put shit in a title.
I mean,
Yeah.
strictly speaking, the title of the episode should be "Holy fuck, dude," but we can't do that.
Nope.
Just have the title as WTF.
What the?
Actually, I do think WTF is actually also frowned upon.
Yeah.
Yes, it is because everybody knows what it means these days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe something about the mount. Maybe something about maybe something about a mountain, like a mountain of information.
Molehills out of mountains.
Mm-hmm. Making mountains out of molehills.
Well, yeah, it was
Yeah,
kind of
why
the
not?
other way around.
Oh
yeah.
no, we've got a mountain of problems. We're trying to kind of whittle it down into manageable shit.
Mm.
We're indeed at a crossroads. This is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there are so many good suggestions. Ash, you choose. I'm gonna
Nope.
put.
Nope. I like the mountains out of molehills out of mountains. Personally. Making molehills out of mountains.
Like I said, I kind of like all of them, and I'm happy to go with any of them. To be absolutely honest with you, so yeah, sure. Molehills out of mountains.
That's 4 of us. So yeah, molehills out of mountains.
And the session started so calmly
Yep.
and easy.
Yeah.
Wait, when?
Started with
Possibly
a
not
couple of
the
guys
Tanya.
going for a drink.
Yeah. Yeah. It literally did start out with me and Colin going for a beer.
Oh, and Malcolm and Jadis immediately came out on a good foot together.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to end the session. So goodbye,
Yeah.
everyone. Thank you for watching. We shall see you next week when we shall try and digest all of this and work out what and work out WTF we're going to do.
Oh no, you're
Yeah.
digesting during this week. We'll be ready next week.
Oh, good luck with that.
No chance.
Okay. Later.